We're going to head to David Schuman. Speaking of Wisconsin, right? It's going to be so pivotal, Pat. And we are going to check in with David in a moment here. We know that it is one of several battleground states that the nation is watching closely. So, of course, we have coverage there.
Yeah, former President Donald Trump won the state in 2016 by nearly 23,000 votes. In 2020, President Biden flipped the state, winning by an even smaller margin. And recent polls showed that the state is a toss-up. And that's why we sent our David Schuman out to River Falls, Wisconsin to talk with voters. What have you learned today, David?
Jeff, I've been talking to Wisconsin voters here who know that the race is going to be close, and they appreciate that they live in one of these battleground states because they know that what they're doing inside here behind me, voting, really will make a difference. I mean, you look at the last time we did this, right? 2020. Joe Biden won Wisconsin by about 20,000 votes out of over 3 million total, a very slim margin. The Senate race here is also expected to be very close. Tammy Baldwin, the Democratic incumbent, has represented Wisconsin in Congress for more than 20 years, but she's facing a stiff challenge from Republican Eric Hovde. These tight contests are really boosting turnout. The coolest thing was we met a man who didn't vote at all in 2020, but made sure to come here tonight to cast his ballot.
It's really important for me to come out and vote. You know, I mean, it's my right to vote as an American citizen, and, you know, I have to participate this time.
That's awesome. You know, do you feel good?
You know, I feel good. I mean, whatever the result is, you know, I won't be surprised. You know, it's 50-50. So, you know, that's why voting is important, and I have a say in it now.
So the polls in Wisconsin close at 8 o'clock, but we always have to remind you that as long as you're in line by then, you will be good to go. Your vote will be cast. So there's plenty of time still left to go, and then we'll start watching those results come in.
Thank you for us, David Schuman in Wisconsin. Now, some voters we talked to say neither of the major party candidates support their views.
They are encouraging people to look at third-party candidates. So we have our Uba Ali joining us live in Minneapolis. She's kind of tapping into people who still may have been undecided this morning. Hi, Uba.
Yeah, that's right, Jeff and Aaron. We're in Minneapolis, and things here are pretty quiet, but this is where the Justice and Equity Coalition will be hosting their election watch party after months of telling and encouraging supporters to vote third party. Organizers believe that's their way of holding the Democratic Party accountable after months of pressuring the Biden administration and then several months of pressuring the Harris and Walz ticket to support a permanent ceasefire in Gaza. They say they've received nothing but lip service and no action has come of it. We've seen several organizations pushing that message, from student groups on college campuses to the uncommitted Democratic delegates here in Minnesota, 11 of them that went to the DNC, including Sam Doughton, who says there's still a divide among uncommitted delegates who say they sincerely don't believe their values are being appreciated.
Ultimately, by not responding to the demands that we had put out, the Harris campaign and the DNC made it impossible for the leadership of the uncommitted movement to affirmatively endorse the ticket.
Now, the coalition here plans to gather and watch as those election results start to trickle in and see how this movement has impacted the voter turnout here in Minnesota and nationally, and see what that does to the Democratic top ticket. Aaron and Jeff.
Okay, thanks so much. Our Uba Ali reporting live for us. And today we've been following polling sites across the state, including south of the Twin Cities.
And that's where John Lawrenson has been, and he's made his way through small towns all along Highway 169. Joining us now from St. Peter. How's the turnout down south, John?
It's pretty good, Jeff. You know, we're just outside the National Guard Armory here in St. Peter, where people have been turning out all afternoon in the rain to vote here. This is actually Precinct 1 in St. Peter, and much like what we saw in Jordan, another town we stopped by this afternoon, the St. Peter Armory has been a very busy stop for voters. We arrived here close to 3 o'clock this afternoon. Just like in Jordan, we found no shortage of folks to talk to. There were a variety of issues that had people passionate about voting today.
I'd just say the cost of everything in general. That's why I'm out. Gas, groceries, everything seems to be really high.
I guess my biggest is just equality for all. Make sure all voices are heard and taken care of.
I believe that people should have the right to choose if they need to have an abortion and not be told they can't have one.
The abortion issue is huge for me. I think that there's a lot of discrepancy of what the women's right have to for their own bodies.
It's the first time I can vote. Feels pretty good, you know, to be able to, you know, be a part of something.
Yeah, and that's key because we actually heard from a couple first-time voters today who weren't even 18 years old. They just never voted before, guys. So obviously a feeling around rural Minnesota that if you haven't voted for, before, this is your chance to go out to the polls in this very important election.
All right. Thank you, John Lauritsen, for us in St. Peter.